Hello YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. You don't need it because your life is boring, quite the opposite. You need a budget because your life is crazy, wild, and awesome. And today I want to talk about just one principle. It goes along with Rule 2 where we talk about embracing your true expenses. I think every time I say embracing your true expenses, I will have to do the virtual hug. So we have people's perception of what their cash looks like, what their cash outflows look like, and we talk about this normal month. People will say, I wish we could have a normal month. There is no normal month. There is no normal month. So people perceive that their expenses are like this, and if you examine their income, it actually sits maybe right up here, right? And so they're saying, I'm above our perceived, normal expenses, and they feel like that's reality. And then what happens is their actual inflows and outflows look more like this, and they're still sitting there with the same income, right here at the line, because nobody unaware is saving money, honestly. So when they're operating here with income barely above their perceived line, what you have here is actual cash outlays like big bills that come due, or vacations, or Christmas, things like that, that are long-term, less frequent expenses that make up our true expenses. And when you get an outlay that is above the income line, that's where we go into debt. That's why I shaded it red, because red equals debt universally. And here is where we have the problem. They don't perceive the issue, but here they have enough, and then they don't have enough, so they charge it, and then they have enough, but they spend to the line again, and then they don't have enough, so they charge it. Then they have enough, but they spend to the line again, then they don't have enough, so they charge it. And pretty soon these little mounds are actually a massive mound, and it's $15,000, $20,000 in credit card debt, and you're wondering, where did that possibly come from? You have the aha, oh my gosh moment when you get your W-2, which everyone probably got a little while ago, and you're saying, I cannot believe I earned this money. Where did it go? Well, it went here. So with budgeting, where you embrace your true expenses, we're talking about looking ahead to these moments and then saying, oh, I've got that up ahead, so I'm going to start breaking that up into monthly amounts and make Christmas a monthly bill, make property taxes a monthly bill, and set aside money for it. So in the end, when you're following Rule 2, when you're embracing those true expenses, you're actually just acknowledging that you're going to need the money for these ups and downs. So your actual cash on hand would look something like this to kind of match it. Actually, I should do it more like this. Cash is climbing, 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 and then you spend it, then it's climbing, 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 then you spend it, then it's climbing, 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 climbing. And that's why on average, horrible there. On average, YNABers tend to have fairly flush checking accounts. It's not because we're all rich, it just is an acknowledgement that expenses are coming for which this money will now be used. The beauty of the whole thing, going back to that whole wild and crazy life you have, it can stay wild and crazy. It's just that the money side of it, where the money is stressing you out, we don't want that wild bit in there, that the stress is crazy, we don't want that kind of crazy. That can all go away, and you can still have the good wild and crazy stuff, the spontaneous stuff, the cool vacations, the things that you really want, those things you truly value. That's what the budget gives you. The budget says, hey, what do you want? Okay, let's do those things together. Oh, just to make sure, we kind of need to follow a couple of protocols like acknowledging larger, less frequent expenses, so that when we're making these decisions about what our money should do, part of it's acknowledging that it will be needed later, and then that crazy wild life that you have that's so awesome actually starts to feel like that old perception, where you perceived that the months were just like this, or the expenses rather were just like this. Your month still felt crazy. But we've normalized it. And we've made it to where the money side is pretty boring. And the cool stuff about your life is what you're able to do with your money, and that all of that doing with the money isn't causing you stress. Far, far from it. It's boring. And I guess that's kind of wild and crazy. I'll see you guys next week.